welcome back to the channel. Last week I did a video with Emily, Gwyneth Emily, who you can check in the last video. We did doing a drunk tutorial to Bob Ross, which was interesting because I had a lecture afterwards, and that was a really interesting lecture because I was only there for an hour because I couldn't see. Since then, I've been busy doing, not wearing things like that. So today, I thought, well, if I'm going to do a university, channel, then I should probably do something to do with the university. So today, I thought I'd tell you, if you're coming into university next year, what are the 6 things that they don't tell you about university?
Okay, guys, let's do some dancing.
Now, I warn you, these aren't things that you may be thinking about when you're going to university, but they are definitely things that you think of when you're at university. So here's me just trying to prepare you. If you're not at university yet, or if you're applying, or if you've got your place, you should know these things because it happens to every single university student. Number 1 is to do with the washing. Now, as a university student, you can't just rely on your parents to do the washing for you if that happens to you. So you have to do your washing yourself. Now, the washing system they have here, most universities they have it, is like the circuit system, where you've got a set of washing machines. You may not be able to use it sometimes because it may be full up, but if you do get into the washing machines, they're quite expensive. And I think for a wash it's about £1 to £2, and for a drying it's about £3, which is expensive if you think about the amount of clothes which build up. For example, I have to do 2 sets of 2 washers and 2 drying clothes, which comes up to like £11 just to do your washing. Also, sometimes the washing machines don't even work that well. I know the washing machines we have, they wash them, but they don't really clean them, and I see that a lot of the stains that I have from raunchy nights out at Cameo are still there after I've done it, after I wash them. So the one thing I advise, if you want to get your washing done, either make sure the washing machines are cheap, useful, or just go to a dry cleaner because it's probably just cheaper to get it done there. At least they do it for you. Now, number 2 is your night out, and people expect that night out you can be cheap. They've got student-friendly drinks and that you're not going to spend that much because you spend loads of time at a pre-party. That just isn't true. A night out is probably the most expensive thing you can do throughout the entire week. For example, take this, you're a varsity student and you're going out on a Wednesday night to Cameo or wherever club you may be in the UK or in the world, and you've just had a few drinks at a party and you go into the club and you get in. Firstly, you've got the admission if you've got to pay to get in. It could be about £5 maybe, £5 to £6. Then you've got the drinks at the bar, and the bar is just extortionate. I think for a VK it's probably about £2 maybe, but if you want to go anything more than that, like for example if you want a gin, something to do with gin or rum or vodka, it costs like £6, which is a bit expensive. Also, most clubs have a minimum limit you can spend in order to pay by card as well, and as a university student you don't really carry around cash with you. Therefore, you end up buying people drinks and spending way more than you actually set out to do that night, which can leave you with a little scare in the morning. You don't think it happens? It does. That's not even the only part of the night out. The night out also may end with you getting food, and food you can spend as much money as you could think of, because when you're drunk, who cares about money, right? Okay, number 3 is the amount of takeout you will spend, maybe every week. So for the first few weeks of university, I remember I wasn't really getting takeout because, I trusted that I could cook, and that the whole preparation of university thing, it'll be fine, I'll make my own food, it won't be an issue. However, on the Sunday morning after a night out, you are not going to be thinking, I will make myself a meal. The only thing you'll be thinking is, what did I have from leftovers, my takeaway last night, or am I getting takeaway today? And I'm not going to disclose how much money I probably spent on Domino's this year, but it's probably a lot, because pizza is life. Alright, number 4, the whole expectation about university is you think that you're going to be busy all the time, and in some aspects, if you choose to do a really heavy subject or you choose to do a society which takes up a lot of your time, then you are pretty preoccupied. But even so, you're going to have days where you're in bed thinking,
is the world flat? Will I have to sell my body? Do they do free student loans?
Is it possible that you could stay at university for the rest of your life? Does the Queen really have the secret to cancer? Is alcohol good for you?
You should make a YouTube channel. Number 5, you can be rich and poor within a week. And please, please, please do not make the mistake that just because you get a monthly loan or you get a weekly loan, that you are now being able to afford things that you may be able to afford when you're earning an income, for example. And as soon as you realise how much you're spending, you're in overdraft, and that's it for the rest of the week, and no more money is being spent. Which means you're going hungry, which means it's pasta with butter for the rest of the week. But of course you do have to remember that when you budget, you've got to budget in food, and food is quite expensive. But also if you've got to get supplies, I don't know, like pens or stationery, things like that, or the travel you've got to get to places, admission fees, housing costs for next year, this all tots up, and you've got to be careful and you've got to be financially aware of what you're doing. And finally, another thing to do with food, the number 6 is buy stuff with a long sell-by date. Now the usual impression is that as a student you should be buying pot noodles or frozen food, which isn't necessarily true. But you can have a perfectly good diet by eating cheap vegetables or fresh products that you can get from your supermarket, which is a good price and is student friendly. The only important thing is that you've got to make sure you eat them, because I know that as a student, if I'm spending money doing a takeout, or if I just don't eat at all, or if I'm eating pasta, or if I decide not to eat the stuff that I've got on my fridge, for example, and I end up throwing away so much food because I don't eat it. So that's a definite thing you should do. When you're buying anything, check the sell-by date, make sure it's got a long date, or make sure that you're going to consume it within the few days that you have it. Okay, that is it. Next week, I thought it'd be fun to do like an ASOS haul kind of thing on a student-friendly budget. So if you stick around for that, remember to like and subscribe. These videos come every week, so keep involved, keep watching, keep subscribing. I'm loving all the people who are watching it, so keep going, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.